Now then, let's take a look at this new footage.
It is, it's a different camera angle. Whoa, we're getting a little bit of male gaze over here. We don't see Trucy at all during this. Doesn't prove much besides Bonny's butt. What are those cards doing? Where did those cards come from? Oh no! Well, we've seen more of Bonny's butt. And that's what we're really here for, right, everybody? Jeez. Wow, okay then.
He really did keep his camera on Bonny the whole time, didn't he? Wow, it's probably where I'd put my camera as well.
I think this cameraman needs to keep his personal feelings out of his work.
Well, Defense, do you still believe this new show footage is worth inspecting?
Yes. Of course I do.
Okay, so how are we gonna go about this?
Let's try comparing the two. We just might find an inconsistency between them. Are we gonna play them both up at once? That's what I'd like to do, is literally just play them simultaneously, sync them up.
An inconsistency, huh?
Yes, the two pieces of footage are of the same scene, so they should match up. But Bonny felt there was something off about the original footage. So if we can pick out what's different between the two,
we'll know what Bonny found strange.
Exactly. Plus, we may figure out why the original doesn't show the sword switching trick. Your Honor, the defense would like to compare these two pieces of show footage.
Very well, I will allow it.
What a waste of time.
Apollo, do you know how to compare the two pieces of footage? No, I've never done it before.
I'll give you a little lesson then.
Okay, a new mechanic, all right.
Use the buttons on the bottom screen to operate the playback. When you want to speed through, touch the fast forward button, A. And if you want to go back, touch the rewind button.
Okay.
If you want to halt the playback, you touch the pause button. Oh, and by the way, if you fast forward or rewind when the playback is paused, you can do a slow frame-by-frame playback.
Ah, just like a VCR. Okay, so how do I switch between the two videos?
Just touch the switch camera button at the top left.
Oh.
Now you find a difference between the two pieces of footage, put the cursor over what's different and present it to the court.
Thanks, Athena. You really know your stuff.
Not really, I just gave it some gusto and then went with my gut on most of it.
What? I sure hope she guessed right. Anyway, let's give it a try. What's different between the two videos? Okay. Alright, we don't see her at all on the Mr. Hat video. Jeez. I'm thinking the cards. Arms up in both things. Now Trucy's out here. So what's causing those cards to fly out?
Take that!
I think it's these cards. Look, there's a clear difference between the two pieces of footage here, right here.
I'm afraid I don't see any difference there.
What? Blink and you'll miss it, Your Honor. So don't blink.
Staring so hard at these images for such a long time. He's starting to make my eyes feel funny. Is this what they call eye strain?
I had to put my cursor on it? Oh. I guess it was too much to ask of His Honor's ancient eyes. Lame. I didn't realize I had to point at a specific item. I know. Alright, what a technicality. It's a new mechanic. See, this finger didn't even show up until... Alright, it's right here.
Take that!
Fine. I didn't even see a pointer finger. This is it right here with my pointer finger do. Take a good look at this scene and compare it to the video shot from the front.
Oh, the playing cards don't appear in the video from the front.
If you mess up enough time that you lose all your badges, they just go straight to giving you a guilty verdict, and then you start over from where you last saved or whatever.
Hey, Wright! What's going on here?
Miss Wright, what can you tell us about these playing cards?
Oh, those? They're the cards I throw when I do the sword switching trick.
What?
Mr. Justice, does this mean...
Yes, it means that the sword switching trick was cut from the TV show footage.
So the footage was edited.
Yes, with malicious intent.
That is absurd.
Well, we must get to the bottom of this right away. Bailiff, the TV station might still have the unedited footage. Go see what you can find out.
Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. No, really? The shorts and shoes he's wearing. They're perfect. Just addition to the whole thing. It's you!
Now hold up, Your Honor. This is all just a big misunderstanding. Believe me. Give a guy a chance to defend himself before you start pointing fingers.
And who might you be?
Right. Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself there. Here's my business card. Charmed to make your acquaintance, Your Honor.
Oh, well, how very polite of you.
It's lovely to meet you too, Prosecutor Sonmity. Please take my card. Business card? Ah, yes. I read about this custom among businessmen in this country. Trading business cards is something we do in America. I've even familiarized myself with the various replies. How do you do, good sir? Or what's crack-a-lackin', homie? For example, I learned that one from a zebra in a movie I watched.
Oh, you're from Take Two TV, are you, witness? Are you perhaps filming something in which you need a judge of any kind? Come to think of it, I believe I've seen you on television before.
Yes, Roger Reddens, otherwise known as the Ratings Raja. He's a TV producer and appears on many of his own shows as of late. He is best known for his catchphrase, "Hang loose, baby."
Oh my, so you're the Ratings Raja.
Hang loose, judgy baby. Nice courtroom you got here, huh?
I never thought I'd get to meet you in person. But, Prosecutor Sonmity, how do you know so much about him?
In preparation for the case, I watched all of his shows. All of them. I found the Rating Raja goes to Burger Barn of particular interest. It inspired me to visit that restaurant straight away to learn more about the local cuisine.
What? You went to Burger Barn? My favorite restaurant? A barn full of burgers?
Who would have thought? You must have really wanted to try it, huh, buddy? Because that line, whew!
Compared to my ascetic training, an hour's wait is nothing. I recommend the Southwestern burger with jalapeno jack cheese, by the way.
I'm having a really hard time picturing him in line for burgers.
Prosecutor Sandbody's unexpected enthusiasm for food aside, Mr. Ratens, what is this misunderstanding you mentioned?
Well, for starters, it's true that the footage was edited. You'll get your hands on this anyway, so I might as well show you the unedited footage. It's a pretty long video, so I'll just show you the part with the playing cards. You can see the cards when Trucy spins around, so keep your eyes peeled. Where did they even make a cut? Those cards kind of defy the laws of physics a little bit, but okay. Fine. Did you see the part that was cut where Trucy switches swords? She spins around and the playing cards go flying. Everything's like it's supposed to be.
Then it seems the defendant really did swap swords during the trick.
Which means the sword Miss Wright thrust into the coffin was the rubber one. In other words, Miss Wright couldn't have killed Mysterious. Hold it. Yeah, see? That's the first misunderstanding right there. What do you mean? Well, Trucy definitely did swap swords, as you saw. So yeah, maybe she didn't kill Mysterious when she stabbed the coffin, but that just means he was killed after he showed up pretending to be a corpse. So you're saying that up until that point, everything was going according to the script? If that's true, then when and how exactly do you think he was killed? It was after the dragon set piece came crashing down. I say Trucy murdered Mysterious when she was hidden from view behind the set piece. She could have easily done it behind that huge dragon and nobody would be the wiser.
I see. Indeed, there is a ring of truth to your assertion.
You bet. Plus, there's a suspicious-looking shadow in the footage, too. It's toward the end of the footage, just before the dragon hits the stage. It might be easier to see it for yourselves. That's Mr. Hat! Are you trying to pin it? Are you trying to get Mr. Hat out of this? No, we gotta place the blame squarely where it belongs, on Mr. Hat, the true criminal. Well, I saw him once hold a knife up to a woman's throat and kidnap her. It's only for a split second, so it's hard to catch, but look here. This suspicious shadow must be Trucy. No. She's using the steel sword she hid behind the curtain during the trick to kill the victim. She's like a ghost, a specter. Whoa, yeah.
Now that you mention it, I suppose it does look that way.
Objection!
This witness is just trying to ram his theory down our throats, Your Honor. And that's not all. Aren't we forgetting that the witness willfully edited the sword switch out of the footage? You see, there's your second misunderstanding right there. Your Honor, would you mind if I testified about it? I've seen people testify on TV and I've always wanted to give it a shot.
That'd be fine by me, Prosecutor Sandbody.
This is quite unexpected. It threatens to disrupt the comic course of this case.
Hey, lighten up, pretty boy. You're gonna like what I've got to say, promise.
Very well. However, if you do anything to impede the last rites of the victim, I will have you removed.
All right, with Prosecutor Sandbody's permission, please give us your testimony, Mr. Ratens.
Roger Ratens, the Ratens Rogers, now Kaiser of the courtroom. Here, I'm taking over the floor, so listen up, loyal viewers. Who shouldn't be able to hear this? Yeah. It wasn't deliberate, I tell ya.
Footage is meant to be edited, I tell ya. Scenes are spliced together and long or boring scenes are cut out. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something. It was just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Or what, you got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage?
I have a contract from you that says that you have a pretty ulterior friggin' motive, that's for sure.
I see. So you're saying it was a coincidence that the sword swapping scene was cut.
That's right. Glad you got the picture.
Objection!
Coincidence? That's just a little too convenient if you ask me.
Ooh, an objection. How cool. I sure packs a lot more punch when you hear it live. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle.
My objection is not for your entertainment.
And cut. There, I got some good stuff there.
You're not supposed to film a courtroom.
Mr. Rayton, filming is prohibited inside the courthouse.
Whoops, my bad, Judge.
If the defense has an issue, it can point it out during its cross-examination.
Okay, so I'm wondering if now is the time to come out with the contract. Let's press and just see what he talks about, because I want to see what all the things are.
Footage is meant to be edited, I tell ya.
Really? I've never heard anybody say that.
It's common knowledge in the TV world. All that money. You got any idea what a snooze cruise it'd be to watch a magic show without editing? A magic show like that one, anyway. Ugh.
That was ice cold.
Anyway, editing is what makes TV worth watching. Scenes are spliced together and long or boring scenes are cut out.
You think it's boring that she spun around and cards flew everywhere? Are you saying you thought they were boring scenes in Miss Wright's magic show?
You gotta ask, that script and presentation deserve a place on the cutting room floor. Broadcasting that mess as is would have been a complete disaster. That's why I had to edit the footage. It's just what a TV man does.
What didn't you like about this show exactly?
The whole thing, it was a major snooze fest. Maybe common folk like you don't get it. But a show's only as good as how loud, flashy, and trashy it is.
It was pretty loud and flashy on its own. All you did was add the trash.
I suppose each industry has its own way of doing things. Just as we in the legal profession focus exclusively on evidence and testimony.
Exactly. Whether it's showbiz or the legal biz, we do what we gotta do to get the job done. Anyway, editing footage is just a matter of course in the TV industry. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something.
It's awfully specific of a complaint. It wasn't done maliciously, huh? But I get the distinct impression that you bear feelings of ill will toward Troop Gramarye.
Huh? What makes you think that?
The things that you yourself have said.
You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those Gramarye magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes.
And I also get the impression that you felt this way for a long time.
Words such as those can be interpreted in many different ways. For example, though I bear the defense no ill will, I would not hesitate to say that he is a good-for-nothing lout of a lawyer.
You bear me no ill will? Could have fooled me. It sounds like you want me to go to friggin' hell. Literally. The literal hell.
And yet it is the truth. I am only strict on you, as it seems you have strayed from the path.
If you have any objections, Mr. Justice, please make your case with evidence in the future. Mr. Ratons, please continue your testimony.
It was just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional.
Of all the scenes you could have cut, why the sword switching trick? That seems like too much of a coincidence to me.
Oh, so now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my programs, big shot? Huh? It's hard being the boss, kid. You gotta make the tough choices, like which content gets cut.
Now let me ask you this. Why exactly did you make such a tough choice in this case?
You wouldn't understand, champ. It's all about artistic vision. I tell you, people tell you how to do your job when they don't know the first thing about it.
I might not know TV, but I know evidence law. And boy, do I have some for you, champ. I might not be able to show that your selective editing was intentional. However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it. It's the contract against her. Details liability for compensation. Let me just double check through and make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the contract. It's time to bring that out.
Take that!
This piece of evidence proves that you bear ill will toward the defendant. Does it not?
That thing? What could that possibly prove?
You're joking me? But take a good look right here. Wouldn't you agree that it puts you in a bad light?
But looking back and having evil intentions are two entirely different things. Look at me, for example. I'm not evil, but I am a bit of a bad boy.
Oh, if I could be a bad boy myself. Oh, the ladies love bad boys. I hear you're never supposed to kiss one, yet they urge. But bad lawyers get penalties for presenting bad evidence.
Ugh, yeah, that was my bad.
Look, I didn't mean anything by it. It was just a coincidence I edited out that scene.
All right, just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Let me press this. What other scenes did you cut from the footage?
Huh? Oh, no others, I guess.
Yeah, the judge is a pretty big romance novel fan. I don't know if you knew about that. You mean you only edited out the sword-switching trick scene and nothing else? Don't you think it's too much of a stretch to claim that as mere coincidence?
No matter how artificial you find the affair, stranger things have happened on their own. That is, unless you have something with which to prove otherwise, defense.
Well,
If you have a valid criticism of Mr. Rayton's testimony, feel free to counter with evidence.
well, Apollo? It would sure make things easier if we had some.
I think the defense team needs to be edited out of this trial. That's what they need. I'll have to clean up this footage later.
He isn't really gonna put this on TV, is he? Trying to prove malicious intent is tough. All he has to do is say it was all a coincidence. We need to find some kind of foothold if we're gonna make any progress. True, but this guy doesn't seem like the type to slip up. So we'll just have to get the information out of him bit by bit. Alright.
Footage is meant to be edited, I tell you. Scenes are spliced together and longer boring scenes are cut out. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something. It was just coincidence.
I wonder if it wasn't over here, yeah.
You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage?
Let's look at what else we've got. The contract seems like the most likely thing. I kind of just want to throw out the contract over here, but... Because the clipboard used by Trucy to sign her contract, it was also instrumental in the ratings Raj's dishonest dealings. This shows dishonesty, but it's not... I mean, the bull with the hidden copy paper doesn't really prove his motive. It just proves that he has a different method for doing fishy things. Prank plan script. The corpse appearing and the set piece falling. The prank plan script is actually, I think, he had some kind of malice. However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it. You bear her ill will because you were trying to prank her.
Take that!
Right? Nope. Alright, what else proves that, like, the contract shows he has malice, clearly. The prank was definitely done with malice. Clearly. But this is that thing where they have a specific type of logic for a specific thing that they've hidden. I kind of just want to throw the clipboard out and see what he does.
Objection!
Nope. That's funny. I thought I saw an inconsistency a second ago. It disappeared, like magic. The murder occurred during a magic show, so crazy things like this are bound to happen.
Oh, really? Well, let's see how magical you think this penalty is.
Seems pretty normal to me, Your Honor.
Or what, you got some proof?
However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it. I'll try the carbon paper here.
Take that!
Huh? What's that you got there?
Now it's just you had to present the carbon paper at this point. Fine. This is the contract. I presented the contract, you jerk. That's so annoying. This contract between the first party, Take-Two TV, and the second party, Miss Wright, reads, if through the fault of the second party, the show must be canceled, in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to El Firsto Partio.
The $3 million? Do you guys have $3 million? How much money have you made? That's a completely unreasonable sum.
I couldn't agree more. And of course, Miss Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Ratens had her sign this unreasonable contract anyway. Or more accurately, he conned her into signing it.
Conned her? How did he do that?
There's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Miss Wright to sign her contract. It houses carbon paper that can secretly copy her signature onto other documents.
Oh, come on now. That's quite a nasty accusation you're slinging my way. For starters, you don't have any proof I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff. Just because Trucy and her agency can't pay up, that doesn't mean I conned her.
But $3 million? That's totally out of reach for the average person. In any case, this is important new information. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Ratens.
Okay.
Where's your proof linking me to that tricked out clipboard? You don't have any, do ya?
Hold it!
This clipboard is yours, though, isn't it, Mr. Ratens? Also, I feel like if you're close, that you shouldn't get a penalty. Because you're, like, on the right track, but not quite connecting the dots the right way, but whatever. Whatever.
Well, it belongs to the TV station anyway, that much I know. Maybe it was an old prop from one of your TV shows that got used by mistake.
Or maybe you used it on purpose to con Miss Wright.
Mr. Ratens has already stated that he did not. Mr. Justice, please do not use this trial to try to get out of paying your agency's debt.
That's not what I'm doing. It's a little bit of what I'm doing, but that's not only what I'm doing.
Huh, proof Mr. Ratens is connected to the carbon paper, huh? Trucy's signature was copied onto the fake contract. And there must be an original contract that Trucy actually did sign.
True, but I bet Ratens is too savvy to leave something like that behind as evidence. But what if her signature was copied onto more than just the fake contract? There's also that note that has an identical signature. And I don't know about you guys, I have a distinct signature that I use, but it's not exactly the same every time I sign it. It's a little different. Like a third document with Trucy's signature on it.
Have we seen anything like that, though?
Thanks for lining it out for us, guys.
Hey, what are you guys whispering about? Let me continue my testimony. I love the time in front of the camera. Or what, you got some proof?
Oh, yes. So I guess we just show the note here.
Objection!
You must be quite the con man if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken. Eventually, after I take a long time looking over all the evidence.
Hey kid, would it kill you to enunciate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster.
I'd like you to take a look at Mrs. Wright's signature here on this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here on this contract.
Well, would you look at that? They're exactly the same.
That's right, Your Honor. Not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign their name in exactly the same way twice, unless it's a copy. These signatures are proof positive that you conned Miss Wright. And they definitively prove your malicious intent.
Say, not bad, lawyer guy. Didn't know you had it in you. This is really getting interesting now. It'll get great ratings for sure.
Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Ratens. The fact is that you bear ill will against my client. So the show footage was definitely edited with malicious intentions. Isn't that right?
What a forced argument, defense. All you have really proven is not his ill will toward Mr. Wright, but his pecuniary greed.
That's right. I just wanted money, baby. Fat stacks of cheddar, that's all. After all, I'd never even crossed paths with Trucy before this magic show, so I'd have absolutely no reason to bear her any ill will, right?
He didn't bear her any ill will, huh? Fat chance. This guy definitely has some major hate for Trucy.
You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those grammary magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes.
I can't prove it with anything, but the things he said all point to that fact. There must be something between the two of them that gave birth to this grudge. Some sort of connection that not even Trucy is aware of. Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Ratens and Trucy Wright have crossed paths before. There must be some hidden connection between them.
Hidden?
Connection?
What is it now?
Just what are you getting at, Mr. Justice?
It is futile to even ask, Your Honor. Surely it is just another one of the defense's feckless claims.
Objection!
You don't seem to have a very high opinion of me, but once you hear my arguments, you'll wish you'd taken me a whole lot more seriously.
Will I really? Very well then, do proceed.
Did you figure something out, Apollo? Nope, not a thing. What? That was just some good old-fashioned bluffing, courtesy of Mr. Wright's fine training. I hope you know what you're doing.
If you're going to make such a bold claim, Mr. Justice, I hope you're ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Ratens?
He's Trucy's biggest fan. They're dating. Ratens is a magician too. We know he's done some magic, but apparently... Oh, let's just see what we say if we say that they're dating. Because that's fantastic. He wishes. I don't even like to imagine this. But could it be possible the two of them are dating? If Mr. Ratens and Miss Wright were in a relationship.
Oh, that's good. Yes! Viewers love a secret romance to dish about. Yes, Trucy and I love each other so much. She's gonna introduce me to her father sometime real soon.
Trucy would never fall for a guy like you. Not in a million years.
Mr. Justice, are you aware that you're objecting to your own argument?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I saw Mr. Ratens' antics. I just had to speak out.
Personally, I can't say that I blame you for wanting to do that. But you're the one who came up with such a disturbing idea in the first place.
Well, we'll see what happens with the game over, I guess.
That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. This court finds the defendant Trucy Wright guilty. Guilty.